MAFS Reunion Part 2. Tonight we were given the god of all reunions. But before we get into it, if you love my reviews, it would mean so much to me if you hit that follow button. So next up on the couch, we had Karina and Punchy Paul. Alessandra said, "Karina, you decided not to be in a relationship at Final Vows. Where do you stand now?" Paul, "Well, at the Final Vows, that rejection, it did not sit well with me. But then I got home and I had about 4 days to reflect on everything. And it got me thinking, are we actually compatible together? And I was thinking, maybe not." Alessandra said, "And what was it about your relationship that made you think you were not compatible?" Well, Karina actually struggled with criticism a little bit. And when I did criticize her a lot, she would put that back on me. And I did notice that Karina can be quite judgy. And I wondered, was she actually showing me her true self? Because she was always worried about what other people would think, because she is actually quite a bit of a snob. And she used to say to me things like, "Oh, I wonder what other people would think about that." And that to me was not so good. Alessandra said, "And what exactly is wrong with that?" Paul starts yapping over the top of Alessandra, and she says, "I would appreciate it, Paul, if you did not speak over the top of me." The way she viscerally hates him, I connect with it on a profound level. Karina said, "I've been genuine this entire experiment. I tried to stick at it and make it work." We had a look back at their relationship. It was a fairy tale until Karina slayed by telling Punchy Paul that she'd slept with a rapper. We saw the aftermath of Punchy Paul punching the wall, him crying like a widow baby, saying, "I need to make it up to Karina." Next minute, he's telling Athena, "So when I told Karina about being with Cleo, she said, 'Oh, I did not expect you to be with someone of that caliber,' and she's actually quite judgmental and a little bit of snob." We then saw him rereading that same letter where he'd called Karina a snob to Karina, and he's like, "Okay, and sometimes I feel like you can be, where am I, yep, so what's next? Yes, you can be, quite judgy, yeah," and leaving out the snob part, Karina confronting him about this wee omission. Paul telling the producers that, he was not quite sure of the definition of snob, even though the definition has the exact same meaning in English and French. Paul going on a date with another woman and being totally flirty, her then rejecting him, saying, "I don't want to be with someone as curious as Paul." Paul running home to Karina after the date being like, baby, "Oh, I have good news. Oh, no, so I actually went on the date, but you should have seen it. The moment I saw her, I was like, what the hell? Like, looks-wise, Barbie doll, yuck, not for me. And then the entire time, baby, I was just thinking how much I like you. And I was just thinking, oh my God, get me home to Karina. And the entire time, I was just speaking about you, so it's actually good news." Karina breaking down, the final straw. "You should have known my morals, you idiot. I'm here washing your clothes. I'm embarrassed. I'm actually so much better than this." Then came the Final Vows, where Karina slayed the house boots down, saying, "Paul, I was yours, but you ruined it. And now you have to live with that for the rest of your life." Punchy Paul crying like a widow baby. John Aitken said, "How does that make you feel?" Karina said, "Looking back, it's uncomfortable, but it reaffirms my decision." Punchy pouty Paul said, "Oh, well, Karina, throughout this experiment, she has also done and also said things at certain times that have made me feel really uncomfortable at certain times." John Aitken said, "Paul, I'm going to need you to stop playing the victim. Paul, look at me when I'm talking to you, because this is the last time I'm going to be able to give it to you straight. And you need to change. I've seen a guy who's consistently broken his partner's trust. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Firstly, you punched a wall. That's violence. You did it, and you shouldn't have. Second thing, you talk outside of your relationship to Athena. You throw her under the bus. That's betrayal. The third one, you get a chance to bond your relationship by being given the opportunity to meet another match and say no. But instead, you say you're curious. That's bad. Any way you look at it. I don't like to sit and watch someone on the receiving end of that as you blame them, rolling your eyes, shrugging your shoulders, saying, we're just not compatible. It makes me sick to my stomach. This needs to be a wake-up call for you. Karina said, I wanted the fairy tale and I didn't get it. I just wish you'd considered my feelings when doing what you did. My question is, are you genuine? Slay, because he's the one who accuses her of being fake. But now we can see that he was never genuine after all. He's just a yucky, slimy, punchy-pulley loser. Paul said, blah, 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 blah. Anywho, next up we had Rhea and Jeff. We looked back at their time together. It was like a fairy tale. We saw them at their wedding day being like, hi Jeff, hi Rhea. Then the intimacy growing between them. Jeff eventually giving Rhea a key to his house. And finally, final vows where they both admitted to falling in love with each other. It's adorable! Adrian pipes up and is like, oh, have you said that you love her yet? Jeff said, no, we haven't said that yet. Someone yells, no time like now. And Jeff said, well, in saying that, I do love you, Rhea. I love you too, Jeff. They then pashed. The crowd went wild. John Aitken closed by saying, well, for those of you leaving here in love, aka just you two, we wish you the best. And for the rest of you, sad single losers, we hope that you learnt something. Go forth and start an account. And scene. If you love my reviews, hit that follow button, and I, as promised, will upload the reunion episode recap from last night sometime this week when I get around to it. It'll be like a little surprise. Fun.